Welcome friends, we're back here in 7 Days to Die Alpha 20 and I have a few very beautiful and lovely assistants here today. We're of course at the gun range, which means that we're going to be testing out some weapons, and actually less weapons than ammunition, because there is some new ammunition in the game. You might have known or remembered from previously we had the regular ammo, let's say 9mm or 44 Magnum, etc. And then we had the AP ammo, which of course gave some target armor reduction and some penetration, which was really nice. But we also had the hollow points. We no longer have hollow points. We have HiPower. So what's the difference? So if you recall, the hollow points basically gave additional armor to the targets, which meant that if the target was unarmored, it would deal a lot of damage. If the target was already armored, it would deal less damage. If the target was heavily armored, you might not do any damage at all. And that basically meant that, well, actually, to go one step further, it was broken for most of Alpha 19, but let's discount that. It meant that hollow points were actually kind of pointless unless you were really sure that they had no armor. As soon as you started running into soldiers, demolishers and stuff like that, they did so little damage. I think for demolishers, they would even end up doing 0 damage in some cases, simply because they have so much armor already. So they have changed these out. I think that the fun teams realized that, hey, they're kind of crappy. No one is using the hollow points. So instead they made them high power. So that's the new ammo type that we're going to try out again. And there's been some further changes here. If you're looking at the regular 9mm, you see it does 32 damage. High power basically does 35. And if we look at the armor piercing, it does 38. So you can see they've actually made a better progression where the damage has gone up by roughly 10% per each. And if you see the 44 Magnum, 70, 77, 84, 47, 52, 57. So you can see that basically the ammo type increases. Let's say this is tier 1. Then we have tier 2 with 10% extra damage. And we have tier 3 with almost 20% extra damage. Plus, of course, that is armor piercing. And I think that's a much better progression as well. Now, this also matters when it comes to crafting. Let's say we want to make some 9mm ammo. The regular one basically takes 1 bullet tip, 1 gunpowder, and 1 casing. But if we then look at the tier 2, well, for one, you need to unlock it through Pistol Pete Volume 5, otherwise you can't craft it. But it takes 2 bullet tips. So it's basically a double bullet tip, but it still is 1 gunpowder and 1 bullet casing. Because lead is fairly easy to get in quantities, at least when you start being able to mine it. I don't think this is a major issue. The problem is more getting the unlock. So this one is good. Once you unlock the high power, just pumping out the regular high power ones is definitely better. But then let's go to Armor Piercing, which requires Pistol Pete Volume 6. This one, however, requires 2 bullet tips and 2 gunpowder. Casing is still okay. It's still just 1. Obviously, it's just 1 round, but it requires twice as much gunpowder. Now, gunpowder, even though it's not necessarily a huge deal to gather, 2 is definitely a lot more than 1, which means I would say we're going to see a lot more people running the high power bullets until they really are swimming in gunpowder, and then they're going to switch over to maybe entirely just armor piercing, because having that minus 50% armor really helps, and having that penetration also helps. And you see the same thing. Let's look at the 44 Magnum. Looking at the regular one, this one takes 1, 2, and 1, because of course it's Magnum ammo, it's more expensive. If we then go to the high power, again Magnum Enforcer, it needs to be red to unlock, but it takes 2, 2, 1. Not too bad. You will definitely transition to high power because the bullet tips is not an issue, it's just lead generally. But then if we go to the Magnum, the Armor Piercing, you have to have Enforcer Volume 5, and now all of a sudden the gunpowder goes up from 2 to 3. Still okay, I think, because it's actually not even a doubling of it. So I would think that for the Magnum ammo, going up to the Armor Piercing is worthwhile. If we then look at 7.62, Regular one is 131 because it's a long round. Obviously, one gunpowder is a rifle round. If we then go to the high power, sniper volume 7 to unlock, and it's 231, which means again it's just more lead. The gunpowder is the same. As we transition to the armor piercing, you need to unlock it with the sniper volume 6, and then bullet tip goes up, of course, to 2. Gunpowder goes to 5, and bullet casing remains 1. This means again, you sort of can almost make, as far as gunpowder, almost twice as many high power as you can armor piercing 7.62. So it's a little bit more painful to make the armor piercing, but if you're swimming in gunpowder, it's probably definitely worth it. And what about the boxes? Well, these ones are basically sniper completion for the 7.62. When it comes to the 44 Magnum, we're talking about the Enforcer completion, and we're talking about 9mm. It's the pistol piece. So that sort of makes sense. But let's look at a little bit of how the damage is. So I have now loaded. You look at the bottom right, you'll see the bullet tip is changing. So I'm going to go into here admin mode here, so you can actually see the damage. I'm going to shoot him right in the stomach here. One shot, 219, regular bullet. Let's see here. This is the high. Actually, this is not the high power. It is the high power. Sorry. And let's do that. 172. Not bad. And let's go and shoot this one. 114. Oh. Oh. Wait. Why does this one have 248? Alright, now I'm a little bit confused. This one has 248 max, and this one has 2. No. Okay, hold on. Hold on here. Let's redo this. That was strange. Is it because he... I don't know, actually. Oh! Okay, this is something new. Okay, let's do this then. So they basically are randomizing. If I can do that. Oh no! Game, why are you doing it like this? This is now you're gonna. Oh no! I did not realize this. They're actually randomizing. Well, we're gonna have to. That's gonna be whole new. They're randomizing the HP on the different zombies. So hold on, let me get some proper zombies out here. Okay, I got reasonably 300, 309, and 304. So let's shoot again, and then we're gonna see here. This one, and this one. Alright, so the first one, 70 damage. Second one, high power, 76 damage. And the third one, armor piercing, 84 damage. So you can see, obviously, these ones are regular, but if we're going to do something different here as well. We're going to put down one more here, because this one is actually going to penetrate, hopefully, assuming it works. Yes, you can see this one definitely penetrated, so they both took damage. So, in a regular situation, it will be better, but of course, if you account for the penetration as well, you'll see we'll be able to kill both of them at pretty much the same time. Well, he's slightly, let's pretend he died. So, armor piercing definitely is better, but let's see when they have a little bit of armor. Alright, 132, 134, 136. So, let's do the same test here in the stomach, and the soldier, I believe, has got 20% armor or something. So we definitely should see more use out of armor piercing. So let me calculate that. So we see here the regular round did 35, which is okay. Because of course it's less because of the armor. Then we see the high power did 38, so 10% more. But we look at the armor piercing, it did a whooping 63. And again, that doesn't take into account the fact that we still have the armor penetration that will actually be in effect as well. So if I shoot here, I should be hitting both of them. I did. I hit both, and it's still doing 63 damage. And that's a lot more. It's not quite twice as much, but it's almost. You see, you can basically kill a lot more simply by penetrating through them. Nice. Okay, so as soon as they have a little bit of armor, you'll see that it definitely, using the armor piercing, is worthwhile. What about the Demolisher? I will look here at the Demolishers. They actually have a huge difference in hit points. This one is 1141. This has 300 less. Ooh, okay. So we're going to shoot him in the stomach here with a regular. We're going to do the high power. We're going to make sure we don't set him off. And we're going to do the armor piercing. Let's count it out. So on the Demolisher, which I believe has about 60%, I'm going to have to check back into the XML, see if they changed that. But it did 28 damage. So HiPower did 31. So you can tell that it's about 10% more, which was all right. But then we look at the Armour Piercing, 59 damage. So it's basically twice as much as the regular one and almost twice as much as the HiPower. And like I said, this again does not account for the fact that if you have two of them, which of course you're unlikely to have, but you could have other zombies behind, you will be doing the penetration and damaging whatever is behind as well. So from this you can see that regular rounds are all right. They do an okay amount of damage against all the zombies. HiPower is doing 10% more. So if you can make them because you have enough lead and you've unlocked it, just go ahead and do that. Now when it comes to Armour Piercing, as soon as you start fighting against armored zombies, which of course you'll see, I believe the biker has, the utility worker has a little bit, the demolisher definitely has it, and the soldier, going for the Armour Piercing is going to be really, really helpful because you'll do almost twice as much damage, at least against the demolisher. Soldiers some more, but against regular zombies, using the regular ammo or the HiPower will be enough. But what do you think about this change? I definitely think that changing over from the hollow points to HiPower makes sense. It gives you a much better progression from regular damage to plus 10%, plus 20%, and the Armour Piercing capabilities. And at least the ammo seems to be working this time, with the hollow points and the Armour Piercing not working throughout a long time of Alpha 19. I'm really glad that this is working. I was honestly quite surprised because I don't play with the health bars on. I know there's some modlets out there that shows the health bars, but you can see the spawns definitely has different amount of hit points. I wonder if that's the case even during regular gameplay. I would imagine so. I'm gonna have to check that out as well, because I would imagine that regular zombies are gonna see a difference in hit points as well, even through regular spawns and not just these creative spawns. But do you like this change? Which ammo are you going to be using? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, thank you very much for watching the video. And I hope you have liked and subscribed so you can actually catch my videos that I'll be putting out probably almost every day now for Alpha 20, at least till we get through a lot of the content. Well, have a great day, Survivor.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the Vedui community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.